Hello there, I'm Chris Heilman, and today I want to show you how to use GitHub and the browser to build something for the web. If I want to build something new, I go to the Repositories tab of my GitHub page and I create a new repository. I give it a name and GitHub automatically tells me if that name is available. This name will be part of the URL later on as well. I make sure it's public and I create the repository. Once I created the repository, it gives me all kind of information what I could do next. I want to choose the simplest thing here and click the Create a New File. There I create a new file called index.html because that's the thing that will be loaded, and whatever I put in there is not important because this editor is good to fix something quickly, but it doesn't quite cut the mustard if you want to do some proper programming. I press the Commit a New File button and I create a new file in my repository. This has the file in my repository, but there's no hosting for it yet. There's no URL where people can see the result of that document. For that, I go to Settings and I open them up in a new tab. In the settings, I go to the Pages setting, and that will make sure that my page is actually available on the web. I choose the main branch and the root folder and I press Save. This one now gives me a URL where my website will be available later on, my web product will be available later on. You can right-click on that right now and open a new tab so you can have it for later on to test it. Right now, the page is not done yet, so the site is not being found. Now I go back to the main code repository and press the full stop button. This will load Visual Studio Code directly in that repository and open the repository. And that one gives me all the functionality of Visual Studio Code in the browser, like IntelliSense and auto-completion, so I can write some proper code. Once I'm happy with my code, I go to Source Control, I give it a commit message, and I click the check mark to commit it back to the project. Now GitHub is building my web page in the background. If I want to have some insight how far that is, I can go to the Actions panel and I can see that my workflows are running. When the workflows have this yellow spinner, then they're actually still happening, and once the check mark is green, my website will be ready for me. Then I can go back to the tab where I opened it before, reload the page, and you can see what I built.